Okay, so why do organizations look to automate processes? It's a basic question, but it's worth covering. Because in our experience over the years, it usually follows a pattern, and it starts with organizations going through growth or change related to that growth, or it's cost. The cost that comes along with what you're currently doing and what you want to be doing in the future, whether it's reducing unnecessary overhead costs, freeing up teams to be more efficient by offloading some of their manual work, or it could be compliance and security, which are obviously non-negotiables when handling like sensitive employee data. Or it could just be a desire for transparency, for more visibility into where things stand across the organization. So all stakeholders have an idea. It's all these reasons, and most of the time it's a combination of these reasons that lead organizations to say, hey, we need a tool here to help make our lives better. Like, we know there's a better way to do this. And so let's close the aperture a little bit and focus just on HR professionals. Many HR teams today are dealing with, fragmented tools, like all teams, dealing with fragmented tools, PDFs, spreadsheets, emails, all stored in different places. And then that leads to time-consuming approvals and manual data entry, high risk of compliance issues due to missing records, inconsistent processes, a poor employee experience, especially during onboarding when first impressions really count. Hopefully some of this sounds familiar. I can't see you, but hopefully there's some nodding heads out there. I know that it's not that HR teams aren't doing their best. It's just that the current tools are making it harder and not easier, especially as companies scale. So a good exercise, just start thinking about your onboarding process. Like, what do your employees notice and experience? Like, is it good, bad? Is it weird and impersonal? Is it scattered? And what is that process costing you personally, and what is it costing your company? These are good kind of questions to ask yourself. And then wave a magic wand. Like, what do you want? We've talked to a lot of HR professionals, and like, there are 5 themes that come up over and over again when it comes to just an ideal state. 1, they want easy, intuitive software that does not require an IT ticket for every little thing. 2, built-in compliance tracking with audit trails. 3, one unified place to manage all HR documents and workflows. 4, better employee experiences through consistent, transparent processes. And 5, integrations that actually work with your existing tools, like your payroll system, systems like Bamboo, HR, and others. And so when HR teams move from manual to automated workflows, the results obviously are immediate and they're measurable. You get more productive faster. New hires ramp up sooner. HR teams regain a lot of the valuable hours. Training and compliance documentation becomes repeatable and reliable, and then labor and operational costs go down. It's not just about making like your lives easier or HR's life easier. It's about creating a scalable, modern HR operation that supports the business goals of your entire organization. And this is where Nutrient comes in. Our workflow automation platform is tailor-made for document-heavy HR use cases, like onboarding and offboarding and leave approvals, and it's all no code. It's with a drag and drop builder, built-in document viewing and versioning, and seamless integrations of these workflows with your existing HR tech stack. If those other software programs have an open AI, of course. Nutrient makes it really easy to automate the most complex workflows without hiring developers. That's the key. So Danielle, enough of my talking. I want to hand it over to you to show them what we're talking about. Show them how it works.
Thanks, Bradley. So before I jump in, I want to go over a few items. So today I'm going to go over the employee onboarding process today. So when we're talking about our HR process, such as onboarding, we want to ensure that we follow the same steps for every employee that joins our organization, making sure that there's a clear, repeatable process. We also want to make sure that we give our employees a strong first impression. After all, organizations with a standard onboarding process experience 50% greater new hire productivity. So you'll see here our employee onboarding template. Onboarding is not just a one department process. It takes many departments to ensure the new employee has all the right tools, access, and information to get started in the best way possible. Again, successful and organized onboarding of a new employee increases job satisfaction, productivity, and reduces turnover. It also ensures the employee has a great first impression with the company. This is such a common use case for companies that we created a template that you see here on this slide and that you can use. Workflow templates like this one provide you with an out-of-the-box process and forms to import right into your instance. We've taken our expert knowledge and experience to create generic templates so you don't have to start building your processes from scratch. So we try to make these as basic as we can, that way you can customize them to your organization's needs. Here's where you can find all of our workflow templates on our website. We have over 50 of them. Mainly, this is our human resources section. And as I said before, these are super easy to just import into your instance and customize as you need it. So now I will jump over to the demo. So like I said, this is our employee onboarding process template. This is how it looks in your instance when you import it. And I'll just go over high level what each step in this process does. First, our employee onboarding form. This is where maybe our HR or hiring manager would kick off the process when an employee is about to start with the company. Then each step, dependent on your selections on the form, will go to different teams like IT, building and grounds, finance, safety. And then once all of them have completed their tasks, our leadership team gets notified and HR will come back to create a welcome packet. Also, our supervisor will be notified at the end. Again, we make these super generic, so you can customize it however you need. This is more for inspiration and to give you some ideas of what you can do in your company. All right, so let's get into it. I will run a test request to show you what this looks like. So I'm going to be playing the role of every other department in this demo, so I'll show you what this looks like. Here, I'm going to type in all my necessary information for the employee. Any necessary details that we want on this form, again, super customizable. Any software that they need access to, tech hardware that they need, and any miscellaneous items. They can also add any additional information or training needs. And then they can go ahead and submit it. Now I'll show you in the Overview tab what this process is looking like. While these steps have been completed, our leadership team has notified that a new employee is going to start, and each team has gotten a notification that they need to complete something. I'll go through each of these forms to show you what an example may look like. So first, I have my finance. So finance is notified. They're set up in our payroll system. If they need a company credit card, again, this is just to get the wheels turning and give you some inspiration on what you need to do in your organization. So I'll have finance submit their step. And then if I jump to the flow, you could see finance completed their items and nothing can move on until each department completes their tasks.
Hey, Danielle, so for the finance team, can they see this whole flow, like the workflow of who all is doing what, or do they just get an email with their individual task and they do their part of it? That's it.
So it's super customizable. If you want each department to see this flow view, you can give that to them, or you can also hide it. So it's totally up to you and how you want to do it within your company.
Okay, cool. So like IT can just see IT stuff, or you can give the broader view to see how it all works together. Gotcha.
Exactly. This is more of an administrative view right now.
Great.
All right, so I'll move on to safety. If the employee needs PPE, any videos that they need to watch, trainings, and they can go ahead and submit that. Now we have our training department. If they're set up in our training system, anything that they need to watch, I'm jumping through these, but I'm just trying to get through each department step. So here we go. We have 3 left, and these are still waiting for those 3 departments. So now this is building and grounds. So if their office is set up, any location, we have a gate key, a parking pass, if we have a parking pass number, maybe a locker that was assigned, and then obviously any comments. And then our IT team, this one is probably going to be a little bit more in depth because there's a lot of access needed. So you could see if there's any user accounts that are necessary. And you can also see that these fields are required. So our IT team won't be able to submit this form unless they provide the necessary information. If a cell phone was supplied, you can enter their phone number, any hardware items that were provided, and if they've been set up in the employee's workspace.
I like what you said, Danielle, about these templates to kind of help inspire and get the wheels turning about, even if they don't want to use every single one of these things or only a couple, or then makes them think about something else that they want to add to theirs. But it's a great jumping off point to kind of get inspire and get the wheels turning. I completely agree.
Absolutely. So you don't have to start from scratch. You have something to start with and build off of. So this one is for HR. If they want to put in the day that their welcome letter was mailed or maybe emailed, anything that's set up for the new hires, like the handbook, maybe a welcome message, if they need any health insurance or business cards, things like that. Obviously, you could add any other items you want to this HR onboarding form. Now, once HR has submitted their step, you can see now it was all complete, everything moves on. We have our welcome packet assembly. This can go to whoever you want it to. So if all items are assembled and ready for a new employee on their first day, trying to make sure that, again, we're as well prepared as possible. The employee is going to have a first good impression, all their supplies, everything is set up for them. And now you can see in this flow view again, our welcome packet was assembled and our work area is ready. And our supervisor also received an email notification letting them know that everything is ready for their new employee to start.
Awesome. That seems easy and pretty simple.
Here in the request detail, you can see that there's a full audit trail of every step in the process. So we have our onboarding form and every piece of data that every single person input into this process. So everything's here to view in the future to maintain compliance and security.
Excellent.
One other thing I do want to touch on is everything is based on permissions with Nutrient Workflow. So users will only see what they need to see. So if you don't want them to see, like we mentioned earlier, the flow view or certain steps in this task history, you don't have to let them see that. Everything is based on permissions that you set up. So I just mentioned the word customization a lot during that demo. There are obviously tons of ways that you can customize a template like that to fit your organization. In fact, we actually have a guidebook that shows you step by step how to create some customizations for your onboarding or offboarding processes. I'm not going to go through each of these boxes in detail, but every organization is different. So whatever you need, it's possible to build it in Nutrient Workflow. And this is also something that we work directly with our customers on because it's so personal to each organization. So we're not just here to troubleshoot issues. We're here to help you map it out, implement it, and continuously improve upon it. So please reach out to me directly if you have any questions, and I will hand it back over to Bradley.
Thank you. Thanks, Danielle. There's a lot of companies in this space, this workflow space, and they all claim to make your workflows better. But there are several things that truly set us apart. And one of those is our document expertise. Like, we have decades of experience in this space, and our platform is built to handle documents, convert documents, view documents, pre-fill forms, sign documents, etc. And in the world of HR, there are a lot of documents, as all of you are painfully aware. Well, no problem. We can handle it. And since our company rebranded late last year, and we had a lot of companies come together under one umbrella, our product and engineering teams are doing an even better job of combining more and more of that functionality from our SDKs our low-code integrations into this workflow platform. So there's just more and more cool functionality added faster and faster. And as you saw from what Danielle just showed, this is not built for developers or just for IT folks. This is for you, or what we call citizen developers. It's super easy, drag and drop, click through the buttons, and the more you do it, the easier it is. And lastly, you have smart and wonderful people like Danielle helping you every step of the way. I witnessed firsthand at our user conference recently, our customers love our customer success team. Like, they build personal relationships, and over time, we become invested in the success of your company. It is way more than just a support ticket or a support email. Like, we consider everything that we do as a partnership. Like, we are partners in your success. And so that brings us to Nutrient as a whole. If you're here today and not familiar with the broad scope of our offerings, just to give you a quick snapshot, we are on a mission to evolve how humans experience and interact with documents through an unrivaled breadth of document solutions, whether it is our industry-leading SDKs, our ever-evolving cloud-based document web services, our Microsoft 365 low-code integrations, or our workflow automation platform. And this one on the far right is obviously what we've been talking about today. But as I mentioned, like, we're constantly sprinkling in new, easy to use functionality from the more developer side of the house. And so we help businesses like yours deliver on the initial promise of digital transformation to help you go from a world of unnecessary complexity towards simplicity, and then ultimately toward growth and true innovation. And as I mentioned, we take pride in being your partner for tomorrow's document innovations. Here at Nutrient, we are thrilled to be building the future of document innovations alongside you. All right, well, that brings us to the end. If today's session sparks some ideas, here are some ways you can keep the momentum going. If you have any immediate questions, please just go ahead and drop them in the Q&A now. I promise we'll get back to you. Or you can visit our site at nutrient.io/workflow-automation for resources, case studies, templates like the one Danielle just showed. You can access a whole bunch of them. Or maybe best of all, you can also start a free trial. Explore the platform hands-on, take it for a spin. And lastly, if you want to talk to an expert, reach out for a personalized demo. We would love to hear more about your current processes and show you what's possible with Nutrient, because there's a lot that's possible. All right. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. We know HR teams are under a lot of pressure to move fast, to stay compliant, to deliver amazing experiences for your employees. And so our mission is to help you do that without adding more complexity to your lives. All right. On behalf of Danielle and myself and Nutrient, thank you, and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone.